Hello friends, welcome to Edupedia World's video series on logical reasoning, and today we will be discussing a concept called mirror images. Okay, now these kind of questions are quite common on various competitive exams in the reasoning section. This falls under analytical reasoning, and basically in this type of question you will either be given a word or you will be given an image, and you have to select from the given options the correct mirror image. Okay, how will this image look if we look at it in a mirror? So what are the basic characteristics of these kind of images? So if you see on your screen, we have an image of an ambulance, and you must have seen while you're traveling on the road, on the front of the ambulance the words ambulance are written in reverse, so that when you look in your rear view mirror you can read it straight as ambulance. So this is called a mirror image. Okay, if you see on top of the ambulance, it's written from left to right, okay, like we normally write the English alphabet. However, on the hood of the car it is written as a mirror image, okay, so that the driver when looking in the rear view mirror can read it properly. So there are a few characteristics which mirror images follow. Okay, the first characteristic is that the image is upright. So if you look at this ambulance, the letters are all upright. Okay, they are not upside down. Okay, so when you look at a mirror, you don't see it upside down, you see it upright. The second characteristic is that the image runs in the opposite direction, that is from right to left. So if you see on top, when we write it normally, we write from left to right, AMBULANCE. But when you see it in the mirror, you will see it in the opposite direction, running from right to left. Okay, for example, it's the same thing when you look at your reflection in the mirror. Okay, if you are combing your hair looking at the mirror and you part your hair on the left, in the mirror it will seem as if you are parting it on the right. So it's always the opposite. Okay, so A is on the left, in the mirror A will be on the extreme right. E is on the right, in the mirror E will be the starting letter. So that is the second characteristic. And the third characteristic is that each letter or image is inverted about the y-axis. Okay, now on an xy plane, the y-axis is the vertical one. So each of these letters will be inverted. So if you see E has been inverted about the y-axis. I have flipped the letter, so it is opposite. The same thing for C. It is not a semicircle that I am making in the counterclockwise direction. It is a semicircle being made in the clockwise direction. Same for L. The direction is opposite. Okay, I will draw vertical down and I will extend the line to my left instead of to the right. So these letters will be inverted about the y-axis. Okay, so just write down the alphabet and practice it once, how it will look when it is inverted. Also, to solve these kind of questions, it is advisable not to make a grid up front. Okay, don't make an alphabet grid with mirror images of all the alphabets, because if they change the font between questions, then your image will also change. A better way of solving these questions is just to follow these three characteristics and come up with an image. Or even better, we can use the simple method of elimination and see whether each option fits these three characteristics, and whichever options don't fit, we can eliminate them and we can arrive at our answer. And these same three rules apply for words as well as images. So we will split this video into two parts. In the first part, we will take a look at words and their mirror images, and in the second part, we will take a look at images and their mirror images. So let's start. Let's see how these appear. Okay, so example 1. Now in this example, I have numbers. So I have a number 247596, and I want to know which of these four options represent the correct mirror image. So first of all, see whether the letters are running from left to right or right to left. In a mirror image, they will be in the opposite direction. So 6 will come first, then 9, then 5, 7, 4 and 2. Okay, it will be opposite. Now are all of these images satisfying that condition? I see that no. Option 3 does not satisfy that condition. In option 3, I have the numbers running in the same direction. So 3 can be eliminated. It cannot be the correct answer choice. The second one is that are all the letters upright or are they upside down? So I can see that in option 1 they are all upright. Okay, none of the numbers is upside down. So I will keep option 1 as one of the potential answers. In option 2, I see that 2, 4, 7 and 5 are upright. Then 9 is inverted. 9 is upside down and 6 is also upside down. So I cannot consider this as a valid choice. I will eliminate option 2. Option 3 has already been eliminated. So I will not check it. And then I will see option 4. In option 4 I have 2 upright, 4 is upright, 7 is also upright, so is 5, so is 9 and so is 6. So all the letters are upright. So I will keep this as a potential answer. So now we are down to options 1 and 4. Now I have to check for the third characteristic. Have all the numbers been flipped about the y-axis? Okay, have all of them been inverted about the y-axis? I see in option 1 that 2 is written as it is. 4 is also written as it is. 7, 5, 9, 6, all of them have been written as they are. They have not been flipped or they have not been inverted about the y-axis. So I have to eliminate option 1. That leaves me with option 4. And if I observe option 4, I see that 2 has been flipped, so has 4, 7, 5, 9 and 6. All of them have been inverted about the y-axis. So I come to the conclusion that 4 must be the correct answer choice, since it satisfies all the conditions, and I will select option D as the correct answer choice. It's really that simple, friends. There is nothing very complicated about mirror images. We just have to keep the 3 conditions in mind. Okay, so now let's see a few examples with words. Now, example number 2. In this one, we have taken a mix of letters and numbers. Okay, because in the exam, you may be asked these kind of questions. It may not be a simple word. It may not be a simple set of numbers. It may be mixed. So now again, I will evaluate my options according to the criteria. So the first one, have they been written in the opposite direction, from right to left? I see that in all the 4 options, I is the first letter and B is the last letter, exactly opposite to the set of letters and numbers given to me. So all the 4 options satisfy this criteria. Secondly, I will see whether any of the letters or numbers has been inverted. By inverted I mean about the x-axis, or is any letter or number upside down. So I see that in option 1, B is upright, R is upright, 4, A, Q, 1, 6, H and I. All of them are upright. So this satisfies the second condition also. In option 2, again I have B, R, 4, A, Q, 1, 6, H and I. So again they are all upright. Okay, none of the letters is upside down. In option 3, I have B, R, 4, A, Q, 1, 6, H and I. Okay, everything seems upright, no problem. And in option 4, I have B, R, 4, A, Q, 1, 6. Now this 6 looks like a 9. So it has been flipped upside down, which will not happen in a mirror image. Okay, in a mirror image, the numbers will stay upright. So I can eliminate option 4. So after checking for 2 conditions, I have been able to eliminate option 4. Now I will check for the third condition, that is, have the letters and numbers been flipped about the y-axis, or have they been written the other way around. So if I check option 1, I see that B is fine, R, 4, A, Q, 1, 6, H and I. So everything matches the criteria. All of them have been inverted about the y-axis. Okay, for example, if you see Q has a straight line towards the right in the main image and it has it towards the left in the mirror image. So option 1 satisfies all my conditions. This should be the answer. Let's check option 2 and option 3. In option 2, if you see, Q has been written as it is. It has not been flipped. The same is true for 6 also. So this cannot be my answer. I'll eliminate option 2. And in option 3, again Q is written the same way as in the main image. Q has not been flipped about the y-axis. So I cannot consider option 3 also. So I'll eliminate option 3. So now you see friends, we have eliminated options 2, 3 and 4. And we can go ahead and select option 1 as the correct answer choice. Let's take a look at example 3. Okay, let's practice with a few more. Okay, now we have the word geography. How will geography look when seen in the mirror? First of all, it should run from right to left. Okay, the order of the letters has to be inverted. So it will start with Y and end with G. I see that all the 4 options satisfy that criteria. Okay, all the 4 options are starting with Y and ending with G. So that is not a problem. And all the 4 options satisfy the first condition. The second condition, are all of them upright? Now I can see firsthand that in option 3, Y is inverted. So just by looking at Y, I can eliminate option 3. Now in option 1, I see that all the letters are upright. G, E, O, G, R, A, P, H and Y. Nothing has been put upside down. So I will keep option 1. In option 2, also all the letters are upright. So I can keep option 2 as well. And when I evaluate option 4, I see that A is upside down. But as we know now that in a mirror image, no letter should be upside down. It will all be upright. So I have to eliminate option 4. So now after checking 2 conditions, I have successfully eliminated options 3 and 4. And I am left with option 1 and option 2. Now for these 2 options, I will check whether all the letters have been flipped about the y-axis or have they been inverted about the y-axis. If I see option 1, G has been inverted, so has E. O will of course remain the same since it's a circle, there will be no difference. G has also been flipped, R has also been flipped, A will remain the same. See, all symmetrical letters will remain the same. So letters such as H, I, A, U, V, W, depending on the font, even Y. If Y is written in this way, it will remain the same. However, if you write Y in a style in which you have only 2 lines, one slanting to the right and one slanting to the left, then it will be inverted. So some letters will stay the same, such as T, even T will stay the same. Okay, so we have to see which letters will actually be inverted and which will remain the same. So O's mirror image will be exactly the same. It's a perfect circle. So will A, it's a symmetrical letter. P has been inverted. H and Y stay the same. Of course, since they are symmetrical, there will be no difference if you flip them about the y-axis. So option 1 satisfies all my conditions and it should be the correct answer choice. Let us evaluate option 2, just so that we are sure that we can eliminate it. We see that in option 2, none of the letters have been inverted about the y-axis. So G has been written as it is, E, O, G, R, A, P, they have all been written as it is. Okay, they have not been inverted about the y-axis. So I can go ahead and I can eliminate option 2 and I will be left with option 1, which should be the correct answer choice. So I hope you are understanding how to solve mirror images. It's very simple. You don't need to spend any time making any grid beforehand of how the mirror image will look. Simply keep the 3 characteristics in mind and keep eliminating the options that don't fit the characteristics. Okay, let's do a couple of more questions. So now in this example, I have the word national on my screen. Again, I will check all the 3 conditions. Condition number 1, the letters should be from right to left. I see that in all the 4 options, the letters are running from right to left. It starts with L and it ends with N. So I don't have any problem there. All the 4 options satisfy condition 1. Then all the letters should be upright. Upon evaluating option 1, I see that N and A are fine, but T is upside down. T should be upright even in the mirror image. So I have to eliminate option 1. In option 2, I see that N, A, T, I, O, N, A and L are all upright. So no problem. I can keep this option as a potential answer. Option 3, N, A, T, I, O, N, A and L are all upright. Okay, so I can't eliminate 3 either. I'll keep both 2 and 3 as potential answers. And option 4, again if I see N, A, T, I, O, N, A and L are all upright. Okay, so I have to keep this also. So far I have been able to eliminate only option 1. And options 2, 3 and 4 are still alive. Now I come to the third characteristic, that is the image should be inverted about the y-axis. So all the letters should be flipped about the y-axis. Now if I check option 2, I can see that all of them have been inverted about the y-axis. Okay, there is no problem. And also the slanting line is in the opposite direction. So everything seems fine. So 2 should be my answer choice. Let's check 3 and 4 also. In option 3, if you see the N between A and O, it is the same as the N in the original image. It has not been inverted. So I have to eliminate option 3 since this N should have been inverted. And in option 4, L is also the same, whereas L should have been inverted about the y-axis and it should have been flipped the other way around. So I can eliminate options 3 and 4 and option 2 will be the correct answer choice since it satisfies all the criteria. So it's really that simple, friends. There's nothing difficult with mirror images. Just keep the 3 characteristics in mind, that is the letters should be upright, they should be running in the opposite direction from right to left, and they should be inverted about the y-axis. Once you check all the options for these conditions, you will eliminate every option except 1, and that one option which satisfies all the 3 criteria will be your correct answer. So I hope this video was informational for you, and in second part of this video we will be dealing with images and how to find out the correct mirror image for those images. So do join me in part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching.